Welcome back to NJ.com. Matt Stanmyre here once again with Mike Kinney, our high school football expert from the Star-Ledger. We are breaking down the playoff brackets, cruising right through. We're on to Group 4 already. This is one of the most exciting groups in the state, I think, with the matchups. We're going to start off in Section 1. You got Montclair, the top seed, with the electrifying Khalif Urban going up against the 4-seed West Orange. The interesting thing here is they played in the regular season. West Orange was one of the only teams that gave Montclair a real tough game other than St. Peter's. They played them 48-24. And last year, they kind of limited Urban, so they might have the blueprint to slow him down at least. Is there any way they can slow him enough to win this game, do you think?
Well, you know, I'll tell you what, there's a way. You know what the way is? The way is we got high school kids. West Orange is, you know, you got a bunch of kids who are they're working hard, and that crew works as hard as any team, you know, in New Jersey. There's no doubt about it. They're coming in with two things that they're looking at on the films this past week. Is the film from last year, where they played great defense against Khalif Urban, and the film this year where they scored points against Montclair, one of the few teams other than St. Peter's to score points against Montclair. You could look at film from Montclair this year, and you'll basically see two games where the starters are playing into the fourth quarter. And it's the St. Peter's game and the West Orange game. So Lance Smith and Austin Vanderhoof, the quarterback at West Orange, they come in feeling good about the offense, and Anthony Angelone feels pretty good about the way he can play defense against Montclair. You know, and Montclair comes in feeling really good that Khalif Urban's going to have the ball in his hands.
That he's on their team.
He snapped. He scored 6 touchdowns last week. This kid has played, we were talking before, he has played basically in 3 fourth quarters of this season so far. He's played into the fourth quarter 3 times and really only 2 for sure. And he's got 37 touchdowns. That's an Essex County record for touchdowns. He has 37 touchdowns, even though he has basically played about 20 quarters this year.
And 6 touchdowns last week in the first half, which is just mind-boggling. But also keep in mind with West Orange, you know, 2 years ago they got kicked out of the playoffs when they had made it. And then last year they lost in the first round. So I think this team has something to prove, a chip on their shoulder for sure. They're going to come ready to play.
They're hungry and they're kids, you know?
Definitely. Moving on, North Jersey Section 2, I mean, an equally good game. I mean, this is probably the game of the weekend, in my opinion. You got the 8-seed Piscataway, which isn't necessarily an 8-seed, taking on the top seed East Orange. This is, before the season, everyone was thinking this was going to be the championship final. But here they are in the semifinals. I can't wait for this one. Who do you think has the edge in this game?
I think East Orange has the edge. Reason being, Piscataway's got to get on the bus. They got to come down to East Orange to play. East Orange likes playing at Robeson Stadium. They're going to have a nice crowd there. East Orange also is really seething still from their game last year against Piscataway. Now you look at it, Piscataway was in complete control in the first half of that last game. Last year, but East Orange made a ton of turnovers. They had like 6 turnovers in the first half, and they took themselves out of position to even be in that game. Piscataway looked fantastic, but East Orange, credit to them, came in the second half, played really well. It was a much closer game. They played well, and East Orange really believes that what they did in the second half against Piscataway last year is what they can do for 4 quarters against Piscataway this year. You've got 2 teams with tremendous athletes, you know? You've got Nadir Barnwell at quarterback for Piscataway. You got Tevin Shaw. Both those guys over 1,000 yards passing and rushing. And East Orange, Justin LaRota, third-year starter quarterback. You got Ramel Tisdale, Najee Williams, those guys in the backfield. Omain Stevens having a great year at linebacker. This is a clash of really tremendous athletes and good size and 2 really proud programs.
And if it's anything like last year, it's going to be a classic. And, you know, Piscataway has a little to prove coming in as an 8-seed. And East Orange wants that revenge. It should be a great game. Moving on to Central Jersey, another great game. I mean, we can't overstate this. You got the 5-seed Sayreville taking on the top seed South Brunswick. They played the first game of the season, close game. South Brunswick won 14-7. But Sayreville, they're in the finals, it seems like, every single year. Another just great even matchup, right?
I think so, pretty even. The one thing is South Brunswick is really playing much better offense right now than they were then early in the season. Sayreville is still going to be solid there with DeLon Stevenson running the football. There's no doubt about it. But South Brunswick, what I love is the way they've kind of shifted their season around from being primarily a defensive team that got the ball from you and didn't let you advance the ball to a team that gets the ball from you and now they really move the ball. South Brunswick is really playing great now. Javon Tyree, running back with a lot of explosiveness, a lot of durability. He's really tough. And you got the 2 quarterbacks. That's the surprising thing about South Brunswick. You got Dan Gorzinski and TJ Perkowski. They split the job at quarterback. That's unusual for a team that splits the job at quarterback and is that good. And both guys are that consistent. So that's an interesting thing about South Brunswick. Sayreville, South Brunswick, that's a GMC game. You know, I think it's a toss-up here. Maybe South Brunswick home gets the edge.
Yeah, a lot of these games are. That should be a phenomenal matchup. Make sure, if you want the lowdown on all this leading into the game, that you're going to NJ.com, you're reading our previews, picking up the Star Ledger. We'll have all the preview action in there and also the write-ups afterwards. We'll see you next time.